Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel Songwriting for Songwriters. I hope you're doing okay, and welcome to my weekly 2023 Songwriting Challenge. If you haven't already got involved, this is a weekly challenge where I set a subject or a focus to provoke and inspire hopefully your creative process in songwriting. Some of you are writing very quickly, some of you are taking longer. It's all cool. Each week is just a focus, so you can dip in and out, or you can write a song per week. Week's a kind of good deadline to go for, so thank you for all of those who've got involved. Please subscribe to the channel, it helps me build the channel, and also please share it to anybody who's a songwriter, whether they've just got a little interest or they're a hobbyist or a pro. Hopefully this will help in some way. Last week's challenge, Songs Inspired by a Book, was a brilliant week. You've come up with some amazing songs, and I'm really impressed by what you come up with, and it's also very inspiring just to be in a community of songwriters and hear how people come up with different things. So thank you very much for getting involved. This week's challenge is all about looking out for and listening out for the muse. I believe personally in a kind of creative, unseen sort of force, which I would call the muse, and it turns up. And sometimes you can sit down and write a song like we have been doing, and sometimes you're inspired by something which comes to you. Noel Gallagher, the Oasis songwriter, was in America on a tour, and a phone call came through to his room from a press person in the US, and the press person's opening gambit to Noel was, "What's the story, Morning Glory?" Now Noel obviously wrote a hit single from that and also named the second album "What's the Story, Morning Glory." John Lennon heard Ringo. I think Ringo was being asked a question like, have you been busy or how's it going? And Ringo said, "I've been working 8 days a week." And he also said it's been a hard day's night after a grueling day. Now John, who was always a fan of wordplay, was obviously inspired by the kind of misplace of the language, but also it's two great titles. So he wrote songs based upon Ringoisms. So those are two examples of how sometimes the muse comes to us. And this is about getting out of the way and letting this come to us this week. So you might, for example, hear something in conversation. Often when I'm in conversation, I'll be listening to the person, but my ears will also be on the lookout for any kind of title or lyric which might come my way through somebody else saying something. An example of this, I was in a bar once and somebody said, "Nobody nowhere knows where anybody's going anywhere." And I love that. I've never got it into a song, but it's one of those things where I thought that's a really good line. So you might hear something in conversation. You might be watching the TV and somebody says something and you go, "Oh, that's a line or a title." You might be driving to work and a truck goes by with a sign on it or a branding logo, which might kind of inspire you in that way. So we're going to get out of our way this week. We're going to allow the universe or the muse or the creative force, or however you want to think about it, it's going to come to us. So it might take 24 hours, it might take 5 days, it might happen in 10 minutes. If it doesn't happen, that doesn't matter either. But this is about training your attention to kind of let go of yourself and your thoughts and open yourself up to a title or a line which comes from you, to you, from somewhere else. This happened to me in this way. We were coming up with a title for our second album, and we were doing that human thing of coming up with things, trying to write down ideas, and we had fridge magnets on our fridge, and I don't know who had done it, but I turned around and saw the title "The Wild Light," which inspired the title of the second album and the song. I was also driving to town one day and there was a for sale sign outside a house which said "Inside Out," which must have been the name of the company, which inspired one of our most popular songs in the Gravity Drive. So this is about you basically waiting for something to come to you. Now the tendency will be to go hunting for it, because we like to kind of do that sort of thing. Try not to do that. Try just to, set your attention, ask the universe to bring you what it's going to bring you, and go with it. When it arrives, for me it feels like a surprise birthday present. So just wait for it to come, and once that line or title comes, start writing your music and the rest of the lyrics from that point. So this is really a task in kind of, it's almost meditative or zen, but this is truly how I kind of write most of my songs, to be honest. And it's the kind of communion with the kind of unseen creative force which excites me the most. So this is this week's challenge. Once you've written your song, video it, stick it on YouTube and post the link in the comments, and I will add it to the video playlist. Please subscribe to the channel and please share this, and have a great week, and get in touch if you want to talk about any kind of one-to-one tutorials or anything like that, and enjoy this week's task. Thank you very much for being here.